You are listening to TNA, Top Notch Audio. Get ready for some episodes of r slash I don't work here lady. I really don't work for the court. I used to work for a large county, a busy one with almost 25,000 civil service employees and 70 plus departments, all in various offices spread out across over 12 plus different large buildings. I was just one of many office minions. I did my job, mostly budgets for my one small office. It was years before I had a clue about what all those other offices did. However, occasionally I would run into people who assumed that the county badge I wore meant I'd automatically know the details of whatever specific department they needed support from. The setting. On this occasion, I had to park in the very back of the massive employee parking lot shared by two major county buildings. One building was the courthouse and its offices. The other was a large structure, a few dozen different county offices. I didn't work at either office. I was just headed to the large structure for finance training. I was still very new to the job, so I was still a little more dressed up than most people, slacks and nice shoes, trying to make a good impression everywhere. It was a busy area, lots of people coming and going. So, when I saw the scruffy looking guy on the sidewalk at the edge of the parking lot, I didn't think much of it. He looked slightly better than the homeless guys that wandered nearby, so I assumed he was just someone else moving through the day until I had this conversation. The cast: me, scruffy looking guy, SLG, various onlookers who just made it more awkward. The conversation. I parked and opened my door, but sat in the car for a few seconds, making sure I had everything I needed. SLG. Hey. SLG. Hey. I didn't respond, didn't know he was talking to me. SLG. Hey. Hey. Hello. At this point, I was getting out of my car and realized he was talking to me. I started to think he might be one of the homeless folks after all. I figured he'd ask for money next. So I picked up my cup of caffeine and pulled my laptop bag out of the car. Hey. SLG started to walk towards me. Oh, hey. Hey, you work for the court? I shook my head while shouldering my bag. No, I don't. Sorry. I gave him a nod goodbye before I turned my back and walked away quickly, heading towards the county buildings. I had to get to the training on time. I was only a little startled when SLG caught up with me and walked beside me, keeping pace. People look for public services in the wrong place is pretty common. I often had to point people in the right direction. SLG. It's okay. I just need to tell him something. I put on my helpful customer service voice and pointed toward the courthouse building. Sorry, I don't work there. You should talk with someone from the court. There's an info desk inside. SLG. Oh, come on. You work there. I was still hurrying through the parking lot with SLG keeping up. I really don't. SLG. I just need him to change up my lawyer. I kept walking, but I stared at him in surprise for a few seconds. At this point, I was wondering what he did to need a court-appointed lawyer. I wondered if he was out on bail. And I really wondered who the hell approaches someone in a parking lot to request a change of attorney. SLG. No, he's an okay guy. He's just not doing things right. I need a new one. I kept walking, trying not to let the surprise and rising concern show on my face. Still baffled, he's talking to some random person in the parking lot about this. Still wondering what he did to need a court-appointed attorney. Me. I'm so sorry. Really, I don't. SLG continued to follow me. Come on, just help me out. It's your job. Me, now past the parking lot and trapped at a crossing light. The other people at the light were pretending not to listen in, but I saw people pause and scrolling on their phones to furtively watch SLG and I. I really don't deal with that. You need to talk with the info desk at the courthouse. SLG, I'm talking with you. Can't you tell him? Me, no, I don't work for the court. I don't know how you... SLG, stop. Just stop. Don't try that. You got a badge. Me, that doesn't mean I work for the court. Anyone who works for the county has a badge. I gestured towards the people around us, waiting at the crossing light, most with badges. They all looked away and suddenly became very busy with their phones again. SLG walked with me across the crosswalk and followed as I continued to the building. SLG, stop playing. You work for the court. Holding all that paperwork, dressed up and everything. Bet you're a lawyer. Me, I'm not. SLG, you are, aren't you? Me, no, SLG, you could be my new lawyer. I finally stopped on the sidewalk leading to the doors of the building, raising my voice, getting startled looks from various people passing by. Me, I work in budgets, not for the court. Not everyone with a badge works for the court. SLG, huh? But you do work for the county. Me, yes. SLG, so you know people at the court. I sighed, but managed to pull most of the customer service voice back into place. I'm sorry, I don't. I really don't work with the courts at all, and I never have. I have zero information on how to get a new attorney. You really should go over there and talk to someone. That's what I would do. SLG stared at me, apparently finally comprehending. SLG, huh? I started walking away again, pointing to the courthouse entrance we just passed. Just go through there to the info desk. SLG still standing still, calling after me. Okay. I walked away again, almost to the doors. I called back over my shoulder. Take care. SLG now yelling after me. Hey, well, can I get your number then? More people were giving us strange looks at this point. I just looked back at them, then just shook my head in total disbelief and kept walking. SLG, hey, I didn't kill anybody. I'm a good guy. Several people started slowing down to watch, my fellow office minions hoping for a little drama. I shook my head again, opened the door to the building, and hurried inside without responding. SLG, shouting from outside the door as it shut behind me. Well, forget you then, uppity witch. Epilogue. Security came to the door when he heard the yelling and asked if I was okay. I said I was fine. Security stepped outside and SLG hurried away, but not towards the courthouse. My finance training was as boring as it sounds. I never saw the guy again. Welcome back to another episode of r/I don't work here lady. Get ready for another episode. I don't work here yet. After weeks of applying around for a second job, I was finally offered a position at a sports bar. I showed up for the interview and was hired on the spot. They gave me all my startup paperwork, which turned out to be way more difficult than expected. Because I'm married and our household will have a total of 3 jobs, our tax paperwork became a lot more complicated. The manager had never dealt with that part of the tax form, so he wasn't much help. So I'm carefully reviewing everything, texting my husband to get his pay stub information, and getting a giant headache from looking at numbers. I set my phone down, stretch out my neck, and notice a guy sitting at the table staring at me. I make eye contact, then look away. In an annoyed voice, he says, "What, are you on your break or something?" Keep in mind, I've been sitting at my table for over 45 minutes. Since I was there for an interview, I was slightly dressed up in a long skirt and cardigan. It's a sports bar, so all the staff is dressed casually in jeans and a t-shirt. I respond, "Oh, I don't work here yet. I'm just doing my paperwork to get started." He looks annoyed, then turned his attention to another girl sitting at the table across from me who was eating food and looking at her phone. "Are you also on your break?" He says to her. "Oh, I don't start work for another 20 minutes, but I can go grab a waitress for you and get you water," the nice waitress says, and then hops up to help the guy out. He didn't say much after that. Thankful, I figured out my tax info and was told I would be starting Monday at 5 p.m. Thankfully, I'll be working in the kitchen and won't have to deal with annoying customers. Welcome back to r/I don't work here lady. Get ready for another episode of Karen. Mistaken for a cashier at the local Wally World. Cast. Me equals PTSD veteran. K equals Karen. ASM equals assistant store manager. NPO equals nice police officer. Anyways, I was at the local friendly neighborhood Wally World with my service dog, sister, nephews, and cousin. We were doing a little bit of shopping before the store decided to shut down because of a certain illness that has the same name as a certain alcoholic beverage. We were going around the store for what seemed hours. My SD, service dog, was getting a little restless and needed to go potty, so I told my sister and cousin that I was going to take SD to go potty and get him some water and a nibble, and that we would be up front when we were done. Then we left to go take care of business. We were outside for a good 30 minutes, then we go back inside after I clean up. As soon as we walk back inside, a woman who looked like a certain character from Snow White walks up to me and SD and said, "Kay, well, it's about time you come back to work. Don't you know that mutts are not allowed in the store? Now tie that mutt up outside and get behind the register and ring me up. I have a child home and I need to get back to him." Yes, that woman called my SD a mutt. First of all, he is a full breed German Shepherd and clearly wearing his service dog vest. Second, I don't like to be spoken to like that by anyone. So I looked at Kay and said, "Me, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't actually work here. I'm a customer just like you are." She cut me off. "Kay, how dare you lie to me? Do you know who I am? I could have your job just like that." Snaps finger. "Me, ma'am, three things. First, I am not lying to you. Second, no, ma'am, I don't know who you are and I don't care. Third, you can have it. Now back the F off and leave me the F alone. I don't effing work here. Now F off and bother someone else, you be." Note, I was taught that you show respect for everyone that is older than you. But this old bat had picked the wrong time and the person to F with. I'm a veteran who suffers from PTSD, hence the reason for me to have a service dog. Back to the story. As soon as I started to swear, the assistant manager comes up and asks what was the problem. "Kay, your employee is swearing at me and threatening to hurt me. Not to mention he has an attack dog that is about to bite me. I want him fired, that dog put down, and a 95% discount. Now, or I will sue." ASM. "Ma'am, I apologize for the trouble that you experienced. I will take care of this immediately." To me, "Sir, is it true what Kay said?" Me, "The only thing that is true about what she said is that I swore. But if you watch the CCTV, you will know why. I don't, nor have I ever worked here." Kay, "See, he's lying again. I saw him a while ago helping two fat women and their brown children." Me, "How dare you? If you were not a female, I would knock your head across this store. That's my family you're talking about, you effing B." ASM. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to please watch your language or I will be forced to call for the police." Me, "No need. I'll do it for you." Gets out mobile phone and proceeds to call the police. They arrive and I tell them everything. Two other people who witnessed the whole thing told the officer what they saw and heard. One officer goes check with the CCTV. The officer was shocked when he comes back. NPO. "It seems to me that you are not in trouble, sir. You have had a bad day and you were in the right." K is placed under arrest for the harassment of someone that is disabled, interference of a service dog in the middle of his duties, and shoplifting. I was having a panic attack while this was going on, and SD was trying to get me to focus on something else like he was trained to do. But K was trying to get SD away from me. Of course, that only makes things a lot worse than it already was. I don't know what happened after that because my sister and cousin came through checkout and we left. My sister asked me what was wrong and I told her just the small details because my nephews were in the car. She just laughed and reminded me that sometimes I do look like I work at Wally World. Not this time, however. I was wearing a pair of shorts and a t-shirt that had my unit printed on the front. Oh, the joys of dealing with a Karen at the local Wally World. Note, the town where this particular Wally World is located has laws against the harassment of someone with a disability and interfering with a service dog. That is why Karen was arrested. As soon as the police arrived, Karen tried to get out of the store with her buggy without going through checkout. That is why Karen got charged with shoplifting. Hello, everyone. As I was doing the first audio recording for this series here, I really don't work for the court. I tried to read it for the very first time, and a couple times I just got caught up in laughter because it was so funny as I was reading it. And so, just for you guys here, there's a couple outtakes that I have just for you from I Really Don't Work for the Court. Me. No, SOG. You could be my new lawyer. I finally stopped on the sidewalk leading to the doors of the building, raising my voice, getting startled looks from various people passing by. Me. I work in budgets, not for the court. Not everyone with a badge works for the court. SLG. Huh? But oh my gosh. I kept walking, but I stared at him in surprise for a few seconds. At this point, I was wondering what he did to need a court-appointed lawyer. I wondered if he was out on bail. And I really wondered who the hell approaches someone in a parking lot to request a change of attorney. SLG. No, he's an okay guy. He's just not doing things right. I need a new one. I kept walking, trying not to let the surprise and rising concern show on my face. Still baffled, he's... Oh, jeez. This has been TNA Top Notch Audio. Please like, comment, share, subscribe for sure. And we look forward to more videos for you and your enjoyment in the future.